Tomorrow, Real Madrid faces Levante with a team filled with injuries. But let's go ahead and analyze our opponent, our predicted lineup, and our potential score prediction. Let's go ahead and get started. What's up, guys? Welcome back to El Merengue Culé. As you can see, a slightly different background. Went ahead to spice it up a little bit. Let's go ahead without further ado and get started with analyzing our opponent, Levante. Where are they currently situated in La Liga? And that is currently 12th place. They're having a pretty regular season for them, I would say, after a pretty bad start to La Liga. They've got their stuff back together, right? In their they're enjoying a pretty good 2021. Their last 5 games, which have all been this year, they've actually only lost one of them, which was to Villarreal. The other 2 they have tied, and the other 2 they won. So not the greatest of records, but the fact that they've only lost 1 game this year is pretty impressive for Levante. I will say that in these 5 games, though, they have been averaging 2 goals per game, which goes to show they have a pretty good offensive firepower. I'm going to talk a little more about their strikers in a couple minutes and kind of show you how many goals they have, which is pretty impressive, I will say, for a team like that that's currently in 12th place. However, a few more things that I wanted to mention is last time we played them, which was already this season, the first round of La Liga, we actually beat them 2-0. And that was actually the last time that Vinicius Jr. scored a goal for us. This was, I believe, like our 3rd game in La Liga, which goes to show how sad of a season Vinicius Jr. has actually ended up having so far. That game, Karim Benzema ended up scoring in the last minutes. So as you can see, we were actually only up 1-0 the majority of the game. So it was a pretty tough game for us. And likewise for Barcelona, whenever they played them at the start of La Liga as well, they only beat them 1-0 with a 75th minute goal by Lionel Messi. So like I said, once again, goes to show that this Levante team is a team that can actually play some serious defense. They can keep up with the big teams. And so that kind of leads me a little more to their strengths, which number 1 strength for Levante is their fast defensive transition. They have no problem losing the ball and right away putting all energy into getting back and defending that team. So especially for a team like us who we rely on counterattacks, Levante definitely has a tool to counteract that. I do kind of want to quickly mention that the irony in the fact that we still play this counterattacking style football whenever we really don't have the personnel for it, right? We don't have any fast players up there. When you look at our front 3 with Karim Benzema, Eden Hazard, Marcos Asensio, none of those players are fast. Yes, whatever we have Vinicius Jr., that's a different story, but it's just kind of funny, and it kind of opens up your view as to why maybe we struggle scoring a lot when we're trying to play the wrong style of football with the wrong personnel. Anyways, with that being said, more strengths for Levante go in the way of their ability to finish chances that they create. They're a team that does not require a lot of shots before they score goals. Like I already said, guys, they're averaging about 2 goals a game. And this, right away reminds me of the last time that we played them, last time we played them at home last year, which we actually lost that game 1-0. And if you guys remember, Jose Luis Morales, one of the guys that I'm going to be talking about in the players to watch, is the man that scored that sole goal, which was actually a tremendous volley from outside of the box. It went straight upper 90, nothing for Courtois to do about that, which, like I said, goes to show that they are a very clinical team, and it doesn't take much for them to score. I believe at the end of that game, they had like 3 shots, something pretty low. And finally, they are a team that enjoys to possess the ball. So that could leave them open to potential counterattacks if they lose the ball and they're caught up pretty high up. But we can see them potentially fighting for that possession. I don't see them as, I'm sure they will defend. They'll have like that defensive line, pretty far back, but maybe not as far back as other teams in La Liga. With that being said, I want to transition on to their players to watch. Number 1 player being Roger Martí. He is currently at 8 goals so far this La Liga season, which is pretty insane for the Spaniard. And number 2 being Jose Luis Morales with 7 goals. So combined, they're at a combined number of goals of 15, which is more than Karim Benzema has himself. We actually have, other than Karim Benzema, none of our other players even come close to having 7 or 8 goals, which is pretty impressive for a La Liga team that is currently in 12th place. However, why don't we go ahead and transition on to Real Madrid? What is up with us? And the thing is that we have a lot of injuries. We're actually only coming into this game with 14 first-team players. So we have Dani Carvajal, who was actually training. He actually trained the majority of this week, looking like he was going to come back. And then last practice, he actually started to feel a little bit of a discomfort in his muscle where he was actually injured. So the Real Madrid decided not to call him up for the game. Likewise, Lucas Vazquez, who was also replacing Dani Carvajal in that same position, is experiencing some discomfort in his in a certain muscle. I don't know which one it is. So he will also not be playing this game, which leaves the job only to Álvaro Odriozola, who has only played a single game this season, and it was the loss in the Copa del Rey to Alcoyano. So definitely not a great start for him. Like I said, hasn't played very many minutes, and he's probably not really game fit. So it'll be pretty interesting. On top of that, we have Sergio Ramos. Lots of talk around Sergio Ramos lately regarding his transfer drama. And rumors are saying actually that Real Madrid made their final offer to Sergio Ramos, which was actually turned down. They offered him a 2-year contract, and Sergio Ramos just wants a little more money out of them. Real Madrid is offering him a 10% reduction in salary because of all the COVID pandemic, and Sergio Ramos just doesn't want to take that. So it's a pretty complicated situation. Personally, I don't see Real Madrid and Sergio Ramos parting just yet. However, the reports seem to be saying otherwise. It'll be a pretty interesting saga to continue. I haven't talked much about it because I've been trying to see how it unfolds, but we'll end up seeing what happens. But with that being said, though, he is actually hurt and he will not be at this game either. On top of that, we also have players like Valverde who are hurt. Obviously, Rodrigo's a long-term injury. So yes, we don't have many active players for this game, but let's go ahead and talk a little more about our predicted lineup, and it's a pretty easy one, guys. Like I said, we don't have that many players, and Zidane has been pretty predictable lately with his lineups. So in goal, it'll be Courtois. Right back, the spot is going to have to fall to Álvaro Odriozola. Let's see how good of a game he has. Center back spots will be for Eder Militao and Rafael Varane. And the left back position should be for Ferland Mendy. He's had a week of rest. There should be no excuse for why Marcelo should be starting at all. In the midfield, we should be having the 3 main midfielders that have been playing basically all the minutes for the past 2 months and a half, which is Casemiro, the center defensive mid, Toni Kroos, and Luka Modric right in front of him. And then up front, we should have the same front 3, which would be Marco Asensio on the right wing, and then Hazard on the left wing with Karim Benzema up top. I am curious to see if Vinicius Jr. is I'm sure he's gonna play, but I would like to see him play somewhere around 30 minutes. There's been, like I said, a lot of drama regarding the team and their use of the youth players that we've gotten. Obviously, Luka Jovic and Martin Odegaard were loaned out. Vinicius Jr. has not been playing much lately, so we've been getting a lot of backlash for, oh, we like to buy all these young players and just ruin their careers, which is obviously we know that's not true. We have bought so many young players that have developed into amazing players like Casemiro, like Rafa Varane, and the list goes on, right? But these are just 2 current active players that are still playing with the team. So it's just it's been a rough spell for Real Madrid and their young players. So I definitely want to see Vinicius Jr. have a good game if he gets some playing time. But with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump on to the score prediction. And as a reminder, if you comment down below your score prediction and you get it correctly, you will get a personal shout out from me tomorrow in that post-game analysis video. Of course, your name will also go onto the leaderboards for a potential to win a home Karim Benzema jersey. So you do not want to miss out on that. There's currently, I believe, the top person has 3 or 4 correct predictions, so there's plenty of time to catch that person up. So make sure you go down below and comment. But with that being said, before giving my own score prediction, I wanted to throw out a few facts regarding Levante and Real Madrid. So we've actually, in the last 7 games that we have played Levante, we have only won 3 of those, which is not the greatest of ratios. And when you look at the home games that we've played against Levante, the last 3, we have only managed to win 1 of them. Not the most positive ratio record. Obviously, we lost them last year at home. So definitely something to keep in mind. However, on the other side of things, our last 4 La Liga home games, we have won all 4 of them with 3 clean sheets. So those odds are in our favor regarding that side of things. However, with Levante, we don't seem to have the best of records lately. However, my score prediction is actually not the happiest of ones. I actually, for some reason, I am feeling like we're going to end up tying this game. Something about me feels like, you know, regarding all the drama that's going on with the team, regarding the fact that we have such little players, regarding the fact of, you know, our negative overall record with Levante lately, I just see the team dropping some points, potentially tying. So my final score prediction will be a 1-1 tie, which would actually be detrimental, especially if Atletico Madrid is able to win their game, which would be basically saying us goodbye to La Liga this season. Let's hope that doesn't happen. I really hope it doesn't, but that is just my personal score prediction for the game. Guys, of course, I want to hear yours down below. I will also be seeing you all tomorrow for that post-game analysis video. Of course, as always, I hope you'll have a wonderful day, and a la Madrid.